Okay, let me just clear the screen off. We are officially in our second live stream. I always get nervous for these, but it's almost the end of the year. It's December 29th, and I thought I'd talk about how this year kind of started off and what worked for our brand in 2025. If you guys don't know, I'm Jordan Polk's my full name, and I left my job in corporate at the beginning of this year. I used to work in private equity. Before that, I did investment banking, and I left in April. Yeah, I left at the end of March, beginning of April. Did like a 2-week sprint in Sri Lanka on my Eat, Pray, Love BS, and yeah, and I launched a brand that I had been working on for 2 years since leaving my job in private equity. All behind the scenes, like meeting with chemists and thinking through packaging. Sorry if you can hear my dog. Fraser, you're okay. My mom left to go on a walk with my other dog, so she's kind of freaking out. 1 second. Fraser, you're okay. All right, I just wanted to give her some ice. But yeah, and it's been 9 months. I can't believe 9 months since I've been like unemployed, self-employed, working on Missing in Action, my outdoor hair care brand for curls, coils, and waves. And yeah, I cannot believe it's been 9 months already. It's only been 3 months since we've been launched. But it's been like the craziest year. It's been the craziest year. Relationship wise, like friends and partners, and career wise, moving home. I moved home at 25 after being away almost since I was 18. I went to college and didn't come back. I went straight to Chicago after I graduated. And then after graduation, I went to after Chicago, I went to San Francisco. And so I have been, it's been like I haven't really cared about being back at home. Like, it's for a purpose. So I don't really mind being back home. But that's to say, I just wanted to reflect because today has been like a really monumental day for me. I like to get started on my goals early before the new year starts. And so this is like that day for me. Fraser, you're okay. She's like less than a year old, so she's just freaking out. But I don't know. I also have ADHD, so bear with me. I thought this would be a more natural way to make content / I just love yapping to the camera. So at one point we'll have more members and people participating in what we're creating. But yeah, what I would say, I'm going to structure this a little bit for people that don't know a lot about like the trajectory of the brand. So we launched in September with one product called HairBlock, which think SPF for your face and body. We're pioneering it for the hair and scalp. And so that's our first in-house product, which is HairBlock. It has UV filters. It has natural, clean ingredients like jojoba oil that help retain moisture and ensure that you have a healthy barrier against the elements. So chlorine, salt water. What's up? I know your dog. A healthy barrier against chlorine, cold weather, and sun. And so a big issue for people with textured hair, meaning curls, coils, and waves, is that their hair gets so frizzy, it gets dry, it gets brittle from breaking and breaks off when you are outdoors. In the sun, because the sun dries your hair, it absorbs all the moisture. It also lightens. You don't want it to be lightened, and it also, especially if you have color in your hair is extremely, extremely sensitive to outdoor elements. And if you're in the cold, you're skiing, you're sledding, whatever it may be, that's just like a natural like it demoisturizes your hair and absorbs all of the natural moistures that your hair can hold. And so I've always loved the outdoors. I've been an outdoors girly. I haven't been like the best at outdoor sports, but I grew up skiing, playing soccer. I loved the beach. I went pool hopping with friends. So my hair had always suffered from the chlorine, the sun. I'd always have the driest, most frizziest hair. And so a decade later, I decided to create a product that resolved all those issues instead of me avoiding the outdoors. And so, yeah, we launched in September for our soft launch, meaning a small structured launch for our first product. And then let me pull some out so you guys can see it. Here she is. We launched with one product, two different sizes. So we have, and bear with me, I've used these. So this is our small bottle. It's a 1 ounce or 1 fluid ounce. And it's like a little point shoot spray nozzle that you could, it smells so good. It's like a very light floral scent, but it's supposed to be like a topical serum. So you moisturize under your hair. You moisturize as normal. And then similar to how you put SPF on your face, it just goes as the last step of your routine to help maintain moisture when you've been in the sun too long, help maintain moisture and prevent breakage and improve length retention as you've been in the cold and the sun and the chlorine and the salt water from the ocean. And I've seen a really great amount of length retention from using HairBlock consistently. Similar to when you're using SPF, if you don't get an immediate wow, I've kind of paid off. It's more so like the immediate application is like either silky and like a second skin, which is kind of what you want your SPF to feel like. And it doesn't give you a white cast. And so that was kind of like our main priority is like absorbability. Does it absorb onto the hair really quickly to where like it's not like laying on top of your hair? Does it do what it says it's going to do long term, meaning give you that extra length retention, maintain your moisture barrier while you're outdoors doing what you love, and no white cast, because no one wants excessive buildup on your products, especially on your scalp, on your hair. And so that was something that we really, really prioritized in the formulation. And also, does it smell good? I think that's like an immediate benefit for people. It's like, does it smell good to them? And people really, really love how softening it is right when they wear it. Right when they put it on, it's super softening. And even after they wash it out, people always talk about how softening HairBlock is. But yeah, that's our 1 ounce bottle. This is our V1. This is version 1 of our packaging. It's gonna get some updates because it's a little hard to see, especially when you take pictures of it. But it's like an embossed, debossed. I don't know the words for it, but designer did a really great job. It's just kind of hard to see. So we're gonna make some modifications there. But it says HairBlock Silky Barrier Serum, 100 milliliters, 3.4 ounces, 96 grams. And yeah, this is kind of hard to see too, but it has like our ingredient list. Little, I think it's embossed wording that says "Go missing in action without missing out on beauty." This box is kind of thrown around a bit. Helps prevent excessive dryness, breakage, and frizz. So yeah, let me not bore you guys, but this is the 3.43 ounce bottle that we know and love. But yes, so that's kind of what we launched with in September. And essentially going forward, so let me check this thing really quick. Okay. That's what we launched with in September. We launched our soft launch in September, and then our full launch came in October. We launched our waitlist in September, and then our full launch came in October, which was later than I wanted to launch. I originally wanted to launch in the summer because that's like peak HairBlock, hair sunscreen for the hair. It's a bitter story to paint for HairBlock as opposed to it being fall and cold weather, even though that is an additional benefit. It's just not the core benefit for HairBlock. But you know, we learned a lot, and that's exactly what I'm going to get into for this chat that we're having today. But this is the long story short. This is the start of essentially our series for January, which is relaunching Missing in Action, because we did our soft launch through the end of the year and we sold out. We're out of stock right now. And essentially we're in the process of relaunching our brand for the beginning of next year. And my goal is to get it done by the end of January. So this is our brand new series for relaunching Missing in Action in 30 days. Okay? So I'm so excited. And the structure is just going to be, you know, just like we work on a day-to-day of building in public, but I want to do it over live stream as opposed to just giving you guys like short clips of things that like I'm doing on TikTok or on Instagram. That's also going to be there. And our TikTok, my personal TikTok, will be just content that like I create on my own, and then also content that we clip on the live stream. So like if you don't catch it on the live stream, you'll see it on my TikTok in little bits and pieces. And so yeah, that's so excited. I think live streaming is going to be so fun. It's a lot more natural. I've loved long form content for my whole life. I grew up on OG YouTube. And so I'm really excited to do more long form content. But okay, let's get into it. The main things I really want to talk about are what worked in 2025 as a new brand, what I wouldn't do again, and what we're going to do differently into the new year. And this is purely going to be focused on growth and early growth channels. Like go-to-market strategy. That's kind of what I loved theorizing and optimizing on during my time in private equity. But when I was in private equity, I worked on like large-scale acquisitions. So brands and companies, they didn't really call themselves brands at that stage. They were companies that were honestly way bigger than we are starting off at, obviously. Like in the $300 million plus revenue range, and $300 million was like the smallest brand we kind of had in our portfolio, my team. Typically it was in like $500 to $1 billion in revenue each year, and valued at like around 5 billion, 2 to 5 billion plus. And so going from like large scale acquisitions to or large scale just operations to starting an early stage beauty brand, which is what I love doing. But it's here's what I've learned, and here's what I'm going to do differently in 2026. All focus on growth, go to market channels. And the one that's top of mind for me just happens to be around paid ads. Okay. So we started paid ads almost I wish I had something to show you, but I don't know what I can and can't show you in our ad account. I can only walk through, at least at this point, the strategy that we started off with and the strategy we're doing now and into the beginning of 2026. So we started off doing ads, paid ads, almost immediately when we launched our pre-sale. So in September 8th was the day that we launched our ads. And I had so much going on. I was handling fulfillment. I was handling customer support. I was handling content. I was handling everything that you think a founder handles. I had interns in the summer to help me get to the launch stage, but they didn't. They had to go back to school. They were in college. And so I got what I thought was and really cool people at this agency. They were more focused on boutique stage brands and getting them to obviously, growing their revenue. Really great case studies. 60% of their business was in beauty. And it seems like they had a really good understanding of what worked. They were going to create the creative assets for me, so I wouldn't have to create any of the ad creatives. They were going to optimize and test messaging as well. And so I was like, perfect. Like, I don't mind paying you a few $1,000s a month to handle my ad strategy, because if you get ads right, you can create a really strong channel so then it puts a lot less pressure on all the experimental organic efforts that you're also doing to boost revenue. And I still strongly believe that. But here's the thing. The thing about ads and Meta and Advantage Plus that a lot of agencies don't understand or don't fully appreciate. I think they understand it. I don't think they fully appreciate how important it is. Especially if you're a new brand, you have no historical pixel data or no signal in your ad account. It's really hard for an ad account, a Meta ad account. We're talking just Meta. It's really hard for a Meta ad account on Facebook or Instagram to understand who your customer is. And Meta's really pushing right now Advantage Plus, which is basically a broad targeting framework. And so basically, Meta takes all of your historical data, all of your creatives, and tests them in a broad array of customer segments. And you basically let Meta, in like layman terms, you basically let Meta learn on its own who your ideal customer is, who's most likely to click on your content, who's most likely to follow, who's most likely to buy your product. And it gets smarter and smarter over time. That's how Advantage Plus, the algorithm, typically works. And that's all fine and dandy. And that's the ultimate goal. That's how you eventually, that's eventually how that Meta algorithm learns your business the best. You can see my dog right here. And it's how you optimize and get how a lot of their case studies work. Is how you get more money. You figure out the right messaging in creatives, and you figure out the right messaging, the right types of creatives, and then you kind of let the algorithm do its thing and you optimize from there. But what a lot of agencies and at least the ones been around or interviewed and have worked with, a lot of them don't fully appreciate that strategy doesn't work for early stage brands. And it's quite literally in Meta's training manual that a broad Advantage Plus strategy won't work for early stage brands because they just don't have the historical pixel data. They don't have the they don't have the data. They don't have the signal data. They don't have enough conversions, whether that's follows, whether that's purchases, add to carts, and there's also like a binary between how strong, how the quality of a signal, like getting comments and likes and views and follows is a lot weaker of a signal, all to their own various extents, than like add to carts and purchases. And so, yeah, there's that. And then on the other side of it, having no data whatsoever in your Meta business suite, whether it's likes, follows, comments, through plays, or on the other side, add to carts and conversions, having nothing whatsoever, Meta has nothing to work with. And so we started ads right when we launched. We did like about a month of warming, meaning we weren't focused on conversions, really focused on purchases, trying to get people to our page, introduce a lot of education because we understand hair, especially for brands that have a high need for education, like new product category. Interesting like positioning, which is essentially what HairBlock is. It's like a new behavior that we're trying to create, and we're trying to solve a pain point that exists, but a product that doesn't exist. And so that's kind of why you need like a specialized or just a unique, different approach to ads, and a more manual process to ads. So we started off doing Advantage Plus. The ad team that we hired started off doing like just broad targeting, Advantage Plus. What's up? Mom, do you want to take him inside? I mean, he doesn't want to be out here. He just doesn't want to be out here. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we started off doing the broad targeting Advantage Plus, and we'd get like a few follows, a few likes, a few comments here and there, and a few like conversions. Like we got some strong add to cards, some strong like significant-ish purchases, like, but not near enough. You'd kind of need around 30 to 50 purchase conversions for Meta to stabilize, your Meta algorithm to stabilize, meaning that like it kind of can learn on top of each other, on top of itself. And we were not getting 50 conversions per week, although I would have loved through ads. I would love that. And so 1 month rolled around, and I was like, guys, what's 1 month? Like, we're still learning. Part of that month was we were really doing add to cart or purchase conversions. Then month 2 rolled around, and I was like, okay, not really a great month. Not from basically what they targeted, revenue-wise, not even profitability. Like, I know profitability is like a whole other battle, but just revenue target-wise, like things were slipping, for lack of better words. And then they sent me a deck that, in my opinion, just didn't fully like it. I took it for face. I mean, it was like month 2 deck. I was like, we're still an early brand. The pixel just needs more time to learn. We're still testing messaging and different offers, and all of that good stuff. So I was like, month 2, I'm not going to stress about it. Like, see it through, see the process through. Like, we haven't given enough time to fully test. Month 3 rolls around, and this month happens to be Black Friday. It also happens to be we start our Christmas countdown, and for Black Friday, they kind of really pushed us to do a like the our deepest discount yet, although being 2.5 months in, which I was fine with, just to give Meta a bit more, just to give Meta more to work with. You do, and we decided to do a buy one get one. So buy one hair block, any size, get one free. Testing that offer to really make people, to really reduce friction to purchase, because we would get a ton of add to cards. I think people were just a little hesitant to pull the trigger. But that didn't work. We saw like a very, very slight uplift from ads in conversions, and it just didn't. I already had a bad taste in my mouth from doing that deep of a discount so early on. And I think everyone has their own perception of a buy one get one and what it means for a brand. And I'm like, we're so early on. Like, it just, to me, kind of cheapened the brand, and it kind of commoditized. I know I'm saying that right. Commoditized, whatever. Um, it just treated HairBlock. It, to me, seemed like we were treating HairBlock as like a commodity as opposed to a premium product, that offered value, and that was unique, to whatever audience needed it, like me. And but let's do it. Like, they're the experts. They're supposed to know what they're doing. I have never touched ads a day in my life. And so I was like, let's just test it. Like, I'm so down to test whatever. I put money at it to test it. If it doesn't work, cut it off, And so we did that. Didn't really get the results that we wanted. And then we got that month's report. And it was kind of like, a continuation of month 2. It was like, I mean, and I don't know what I don't know why I would expect like a bigger report. I kind of did. Like, especially getting to month 3, I kind of expected something to be a little bit more detailed of like what's going on with the ad account, what's the next strategy. It was, and the response was kind of like, or the report was kind of like, this month's discount or this month's offer didn't provide the amount of uplift that we had hoped. Next month's plan is to test new creative. Like, there's something wrong with the creative direction. And what at the end of it? Yeah, we're gonna test new before and afters, test new, basically test new creative strategy. That was their MO. That was what they, or like, and they also added in like, we obviously there's a lack of social trust because it is a new product, new brand, and that's just something common with early stage brands. And I was like, I agree. There's some things I agreed with. I agreed, lack of social trust for sure, new product, new brand, small following that's growing. We launched 2 months ago at that point, and but I went into the ad account, and that's what I was like. I was so hesitant to touch the ad account because it just seemed like calculus to me. And then I was like, let me go into this hoe. Let me see what's going on. And so I just spent a few hours like combing through like what was going on in the ad account, all of the metrics. That if you go, I don't know if you're a founder, if you're whoever, when you go into your ad account on Meta, it kind of breaks down like all of your campaigns going on, all of the different creatives that you have going on to your campaign, and then it kind of line by line gives you all the metrics like through play, conversion, click through rate. It gives you all the metrics you need in your ad account to see how your creatives are performing. And on the face value, they it was I on the face value, we had in 3 months, we had tested 157 different types of ads. And just from like my own common knowledge of like being on founder calls and meeting with other founders, they typically recommend like for early stage at the budget. We were only at that we started off at a budget of $100 per day, and then like once the pixels started like not stabilizing, we went from like just down to 70 and down to 50. So we were only spending like $50 to $70 a day on ads. And so we would test ads that they would make from their own creative team, and then we would also test like posts that I was posting organically, just to see like what resonated and give like more opportunity to find like a winning ad or winning creative. So through all of that, we tested 157 ads total, and I was like, y'all, we did that much testing. And I'll get into on the side, I've been working with like another organic team to help with storytelling and like founder positioning and building in public, but I'll get into that. But I was like, there's no way. I mean, there is a way, but it's very unlikely that we have tested 157 ads. I'd say half to less than half of those are like personal pages, like personal posts that I had been posting on the page, which means that we had been posting like half to a little bit more than half of those are like creatives that they were testing and optimizing on their end. And I went through all the metrics and I was like, we were getting 2 to 3% plus click-through rates on the creatives that we were utilizing, both on a majority, like at minimum like 1%, which anything 1% plus is typically pretty good. So we weren't like, so in my head I'm like, this is like, it's not the creative, like the creative is good, like it's catching people's attention to our website, like we're getting a lot of visits. So I just didn't fully buy that the issue was creatives, or like the creative direction, because we were testing so many different creative directions, and all the feedback I was getting from like friends and family and was positive about the creative. And then also we had a marginally relatively high click-through rate. So I'm like, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. And we were also getting add to carts and whatever. Like I don't buy it. Although I respect the opinion. And so in my head, I'm like, something is going on with like, something must be going on with who is and who we're targeting. And so I was just my own brain. I'm like, what's going on? Like more of the same isn't going to work. Like if the issue is creative direction, doing more, like it just wasn't like, it didn't make sense to me. To just do more of the same, which is kind of what I thought they were planning to do, which they didn't say otherwise. So I was just riffing in my head and then like just putting all my questions into ChatGPT. I was like, why is this happening? Like, what does this mean? Like, whatever, like, putting all of these into ChatGPT. And essentially, I found the documentation from Meta that said for an early stage brand, you cannot rely on broad targeting. Like Advantage Plus isn't going to be as useful, if at all, to you in building signal, getting conversions, and fully optimizing your ad strategy at the start. A more manual process or a more manual ad targeting strategy, which I didn't know, neither did, I guess, my ad team. Not in any funny way, but like they position themselves as boutique, but I don't think they were really early stage, which is fine. I mean, and They have brought one brand from launch stage to 100K in revenue within a year, but I don't think I asked enough questions about, were they running warming ads before that? What was like their audience before they started doing advertisements? Like I think I just need to ask more clarifying questions as opposed, which is in hindsight's 2020, as opposed to just, have you helped a brand launch their ad strategy? And they were like, yes. So my fault. But that kind of got me to the point where now we started doing so basically I told them all of this. I didn't tell them all of this, but I was kind of like, we can't be doing more of the same. I don't think the issue is creative strategy or creative direction. I think we have great creatives. That's not to toot my own horn, but I think like the content we have is great. I think we need to work with the 160 ads that we have existing and just do a proper funnel. And I'd always heard about that. I've always heard about top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom of funnel, and that's what is required. Like so much more education, so much more not hand holding, but like nurturing to get someone comfortable with a new behavior. Supergroup had to do it. Like all of the brands in my space that I love, Glossier had to do it. That I love and respect, had to, in order to get the benefit of starting a new area or a new space in beauty, you kind of have to educate and nurture and bring people along on the story with you. And so that's what what I decided to do, and what the Meta training algorithm told us to do. And also what also made me think this is because we were double triple posting. So everything we posted on Instagram or Meta, we also post on TikTok, and the content was not doing the same. And mind you, yes, these are different audiences, but I was willing to argue that the audience on TikTok is somewhere on Instagram, like they're somewhere there. TikTok just has a algorithm that needs a lot less signals, and I believe it's interest based than it is conversion based. And so that's why I'm like, we need to help the Meta algorithm, because I believe if it does what it's supposed to do, it's going to pay off. We just need to feed the algorithm a better audience, instead of it just doing its own random things. And so we started that today, and mind you, we're still in sold out mode. So we're just now focusing on waitlist building. And like it's a completely different page. Like not a completely different page, but like there's so much more interaction on the page. People are commenting, even on like our old posts that are going through like the top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. We've gained 20 followers in one day, which is the goal, sure, is followers. But it's more so like really engaged followers, like really engaged audience members who are going to be on this journey with us for the next 30 days. And yeah, that's why I already feel like it's working out a lot better. And like just reading the comments of people that have found the page just in one day, it's like I'm like, I want to help this brand like become better. Like I indoor swim all the time. Like just reading how detailed, we never really got this. We would get a few follows here and there, a few comments here and there, nothing consistent. Like it'd be like 3, next day nothing, 2 follows in one day, next day nothing, next list ads. Or email list ads while we were still selling. But nothing compared to what I know is going to be more successful. And and so I'm really excited for this new strategy, doing more manual targeted ads. If you guys want to know more about the types of ads that are like how we're structuring our ad account on a very like surface level, we're doing essentially like a top of funnel content that's like more educational, more like founder led, to pull people in. And then from that, we're kind of taking a subset of people through plays and from IG page views to then nurture on the middle level, being a middle funnel with more founder storytelling, more of a story of like what HairBlock does, what missing in action is, and then there's going to be another level of bottom of funnel conversions. That's right now optimized for waitlist ads. So people who join the waitlist, that's like our version of conversion right now until we relaunch. And that's like another layer of like deeper education and storytelling visuals. And so far so good. Okay. Again, it's just day one, but the whole goal is to just give Meta a ton more, even if it's like lower quality, it's not fully conversions. Like no one's purchasing right now. No one's adding to cart right now because they can't. It's sold out. But giving Meta something, even like a low quality signal as we like rebuild our pixel so that when we do eventually turn to conversions in that way, we're purchasing. It's better. It can optimize on itself more. So that's the plan, and I feel hopeful that this is the right strategy. The ultimate goal is to be on Advantage Plus at some point, you know, but we need to feed Meta a bit more, and that's what Meta has in their training manual. My fault. I mean, I just didn't choose an agency that like really knows early stage brands really well and how to strategize for that. But I've learned a lot. So, and I have more now. I have like extreme amount of comfort working with ads myself and like picking different ad creatives and like tinkering with our account. So I'm going to be handling ads moving forward. And as for like the different audiences that we're bucketing for, if this is helpful, we're starting with the first layer being like people who have already shown interest in hair care brands. So like people who are into brands like Olaplex, like Pattern. I'm thinking of brands that aren't. Let me combine them. So hair care brands and also consumers that are like problem oriented. So like, and that's why I was kind of thinking of brands that are hard to think of that are outside of like the ones that are problem oriented, like K18, Olaplex, Kerastase. Those are brands with a following that really care about length retention and breakage prevention, which are areas that we're focused on, you know, instead of treating breakage, we're preventing breakage before it even happens, you know. The next layer is people who are already interested in, and I'd also throw in like the patterns, the breads, people that are like in ceremonias, people that are interested in culturally aligned but not culturally exclusive hair care brands. So that's I'd add those into like the top bucket there for our audience targeting. The second layer we're targeting is sun care brands, people that are already interested in sun care brands. So the Sun Bums, the Super Goops, the what's another really good? Going back to the sheet. Yeah, the Sun Bums, the Super Goops of the world. Those are brands that we're also targeting for customers that already care about sun protection in like a premium way. And then the third layer that we're targeting is competitor brands. So taking these brands and really taking the brands and really targeting the consumers based on people that we're just like more closely aligned with. And I would put in There is some level of overlap between the first bucket and the second bucket. Let me pull up actually what we have. I think I'm repeating myself. Um, okay. Okay. Yes, I'm repeating myself. So bucket one is 18 to 44 age United States women that are focused on hair care brands that also have like a problem oriented mindset. So like the Biogios, the Amicas, K18, Olaplex, Bread, Redken, Ceremonia, Kerastase, all those that I named. And then the second tier, like I'd mentioned, is sun care, people that care about sun protection. So sunscreen, we're targeting for interests in sunscreen, SPF, sun protection, Supergoop, Sunbum. We have two more top of funnel audience segments. One being active and outdoors. I don't know how I forgot that one, but active outdoorsy. Because whenever we get like, even before we were started this new ad strategy, all the comments I'd get was like, oh, I'm like from people that like this is exactly what I need. It'd be from like people that are runners on Strava or who are actively like outdoorsy and active. And so interests are running, skiing, snowboarding, hiking, outdoor fitness. That's what we're kind of targeting. And then number four, we're targeting people that are just interested in beauty, like the world of beauty, and already buy from places that have premium products like Sephora, Ulta, targeting just hair care generally, leave-in, conditioner, serum, scalp care. So that's what we're focused on. I would even at some point I let them kind of run with this because they set this up. The agencies, the agents, the ad agency set this up because we are no longer working with them. So this is kind of like them setting it up so I could like run it on my own. Yeah, so I can run it on my own. And the fifth one I would add is a more like problem oriented ad set, but I'm gonna see how this does and then rework it on my own. So yeah, the fifth one I would add would be like problem oriented to like breakage, length retention, sunburn, like something a bit more targeted towards the issues that we're focusing on. But I get why they want it to be vague. They also said that this is kind of the strategy that brands were utilizing about a year and a half ago before everyone kind of switched over to Advantage Plus. But the reason why it was okay for brands to do that is because a lot of them already had extensive pixel data. It makes not much sense for a brand that has no historical pixel data to switch over to Advantage Plus because Meta really has nothing to learn on. That's my 50-minute rant on paid ads. I feel hopeful about this new strategy, though it is still a bit broad. It's a bit more targeted towards the area that we want to go towards. And so I am hopeful that we're getting better and stronger, you know? Okay, that leads me into that's Meta. That's Meta ad strategy, and that's the growth channel of paid media. Very, very low level paid media. For context, we did no PR. I'm of the belief that PR should come organically, and I believe that it will come organically over time. We already have some really cool people following our email list, so I just have to get better at doing our email newsletters. But it's only a matter of time before people organically hear about the brand. We also didn't do any like full-fledged influencer strategy. We're gonna start the beginning of next year once we relaunch the brand. We'll do some affiliate marketing. We'll do some paid influencer strategy, but I would love for it to happen organically too. Strategies that I have in the woodwork. So what we really tested for the paid side is paid media, like paid advertisements. And we tested two strategies. One, me being Meta, which is Instagram and Facebook. And then we kind of dipped our toe a little bit, not too much, in TikTok advertisements, which I think will pay off a ton more. I think we'll have a easier time. Like, I posted one behind MIA video, and not that it went crazy viral or anything, but it did decently well. We got like, yeah, it went baby viral. Like, it did baby well. Like, but the comments were flooded with people that were so receptive of what we were building and identified with the problem that we were solving. And that was just one post, you know? And so I'm hopeful that if we continue, if we're more consistent with our posting, that TikTok can get smarter of who our target audience is, what we're trying to offer. And I'm so excited about that process. And I think doing paid encourages the TikTok algorithm to find our audience even more, because they can get more of our money. So how I would rank paid media for 2025, I think it's a process. And I think if you know how to structure ads, it takes time. Acquiring data, especially for a new brand, for an early stage brand in a new market with a new product and a new behavior, you're going to just spend money acquiring data. That's just like a given. And I've been told that by so many founders, ones that are in Sephora right now. And so I always knew that was going to happen. I kind of just wish I avoided the agency pitfall, but it's whatever. Can't harp on the downsides. Yeah, so I would rank paid media as a good strategy. I can see the payoff once you get to the level of effectiveness that you need to, the level of optimization that you need to be to run an effective and an efficient ad strategy, which we're still learning, but don't do broad if you're a new brand. Always do targeted audiences. And I think that's also what ruined our, not to put everything on ads, but I was doing more research, and if you don't target the right audiences through ads, Meta, like your organic content, not that like pushing posts on, not that like, I think there's like a common misconception that if you like boost posts on Meta or Instagram, Facebook, that Meta stops pushing your posts organically, which that's not true. But I think what happens if you push, which I was kind of confirmed when I was doing my research on Google, like I didn't talk to anyone professionally, but when you are pushing your paid ads to the wrong audience, Meta just thinks that that's your audience. Like whoever is like on a cold basis, like clicking on your photos or just clicking through, like Meta just thinks that that's your audience, and they won't push it to the right audience. Because when we first started our Instagram, we were getting really good views. Not really, I mean, like nothing crazy, but like around like 5,000, 10,000 views. Significant likes, people commenting, even strangers, you know? And then once we started our ad strategy, I kind of went a little downhill from there. And yeah, from a little bit of research online, it's just that, like, not that your content is getting worse, which it wasn't. You know, we were putting a lot of effort and time and money into new video content, like new still content and new videos, and arguably it was getting better. But because like Meta just thinks that that's your audience, like whoever's like, because there are some people on Instagram that just click, swipe, click, like, and that's not your real audience. So I think once we get our ad strategy better, or more effective to our right audience, then our organic strategy will also do well. So stay tuned for that in the next 30 days as we do more warming of our audience. And I also, so yeah, that's, but That's why I kinda didn't wanna touch TikTok too much on the organic side because, I was so worried about the algorithm being ruined on that side, which I know is not true, but it's just, like, something that I have to get once I fix Instagram, then I'll get that out of my head. Um, so I think both are great platforms, Instagram and TikTok for paid media. I think on the organic side, TikTok does a lot better job of finding an aligned audience because it is more interest-based algorithm and it needs a lot less signal data in order to find your audience. Meta needs a lot more signal data to find your audience, but I've heard that once it does, I can't tell you from experience, in the next 30 days, I probably will be able to. But once it does find your audience, I've heard that Instagram really does pay off. But in the meantime, I'm having a really great time testing organic on Instagram, on TikTok. TikTok being the better organic platform for right now for our brand. We also tested a little bit on YouTube Shorts, which that's been also pretty good. From a reviews standpoint, growing, part of the reason why I'm doing my live streaming. And then what else did I plan to talk about? I did a lot of ranting about paid ads. This is like top of mind because I'm getting like the trickle in of people finding our page and just seeing the comments is getting me so excited. Yeah, what else? What worked? Yeah, I think that the top thing is TikTok organic worked a lot. We had to rework our meta, so paid ads weren't our strong suit, but I'm hopeful about the beginning of next year and this new targeting strategy that we have going on. And what else can I tell you guys? Obviously, I think word of mouth, like Instagram organic worked until we started doing paid ads. Our highest sales month obviously comes from the people that know your story and have been there from the beginning. And so what works is just nurturing an audience that's put time and energy into you. And so that was really cool to see. We also did, I won't have too much time, loyalty program through this. So I think that has worked as like a really cool strategy in keeping people engaged and excited about the brand. We're gonna go a little bit harder on TYB in the new year. We haven't gotten any. Most purchases have gone from like either TikTok or most have been from like TikTok Shop. So I'd say organic on TikTok Shop, and then I will talk to you guys more about how going for both with the new strategy. So I'm really excited about. I'm really, really excited. But founder storytelling on the organic front, that's like what has resonated a lot while we like build UGC and before and after content from like people that have tested the product first. But founder storytelling has worked a lot, like POV, telling my story about leading private equity and chasing alignment over stability has resonated a lot with people. And I just have to get out of my comfort zone. Like I'm a huge introvert. I like to work behind the scenes, but I'm learning to not do that as much and to be comfortable building in public. It's really like a second job, but I think live streaming is gonna be fun, and I'm so excited for people to join, hopefully. But I think that's what I have. I think that's it for this first. Sorry, this is the first of our 30-day series, but not my first stream. What else did I want to say? TikTok versus Instagram, TikTok for organic, still working on ads for both. So stay tuned in the next few streams because we're going to do more ad strategy review, or we're gonna cut ads altogether. Co-posts for growth. That's what we're gonna do a lot more in 2026. Collab posts / co-posts help a ton expose your brand to a new audience, especially if you're working with like aligned pages. So for example, like we're an outdoor focused brand. So if you do co-posts we're an outdoor beauty brand. So if you do a co-post with like a running page or with a ski page or with a hiking page, that has helped our growth a lot. We did a co-post with TYB, which is a different type of audience. Some people who really engaged audiences, people that also were really excited about our product. And that organically helped us kind of boost our page. And so I'm really going to hone in on co-posts and like collaborating with other brands because we have like such a in-person experiential brand. I'm really excited to see what that does for our brand in the new year. But yeah, collabs, organic content. We're going to keep honing in on refining our ad strategy. It's going to be really, really exciting. And I think we have like a really cool, I can't talk too much about it, but there's like a new expansion of the MIA brand that we're going to get into in the new year, which is aligned with HairBlock and our products as well. But I'm excited to do more in-person activations for the brand, which I think will be really, really exciting. So that's what I have for our first 30 days to relaunch, which is really going to be like 33 days because I'm starting it a bit early. 29th, I was supposed to start on the 1st of January, but by the end of January, I want to relaunch HairBlock. Relaunch Missing in Action. I keep calling it HairBlock, but relaunch Missing in Action, which I'm so excited about. And I hope that you guys join us on this journey of live streaming. This will be like my primary platform is live streaming. And then, like I said, I will cut clips, or my editor will cut clips and put it on TikTok, YouTube Shorts. And we will also start multi-streaming. Right now I'm doing mainly YouTube Live. But I think once we hit 50 subscribers, the current goal is 50 subscribers. Once we hit 50, then we will start multi-streaming because I can get mobile streaming. So I'll do the mobile and it'll work. I feel like such a millennial. We'll do the mobile and we'll be on YouTube Live, Twitch, and TikTok Live. And so I'm so excited to get into this and like start reacting to some content. We're gonna start reacting to some content. But I think tomorrow the plan is I'm going to kind of run down, maybe not tomorrow, maybe tomorrow I will react to some content. Which if you guys haven't seen like some of the brands doing live streams, that's what we're gonna do tomorrow. Like Kim's Miss, also maybe even reviewing some of like I think Princess Polly doing a ton of live stream content. Less production oriented, but I just want to analyze how people are doing it right now and just speak on the next wave of e-commerce. And then after that, then on the 31st, I think we'll do a live stream about my goals for the new year and what we're really focusing on as a brand in the next 30 days, the next quarter, really. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. If you guys haven't yet, subscribe to my channel. Our current goal is to get to 50 subscribers by hopefully the end of the year. That'd be great. Get to 50 subscribers so we can start mobile streaming and then multi-streaming to get more people involved in the family. That's the plan. So subscribe, like, comment. Please tell me what else you want to see, like what you want to hear about from like me as a founder or the brand, or relaunching, doing the soft launch, leaving private equity, whatever. Like I'm down. Let's do it. See ya.